ゴリタンです。今日はニコラスさんとミッシェルさんの最新の動画1時間以上あったのを、皆さんが興味があるかなというところだけを、かいつまんで、お伝えしたいと思います。ミッシェルさんは遅れが起きているっていうのはスターリンクと各国との契約を今まだし続けているからだと聞いていました。
This Starlink, once it's fully operational, is going to be manned by the military, and they called them the Starlink Guardians. They said they're going to be envoys of peace, and that they're going to oversee the functionality and keep checks on the countries and the destinations, and they're going to make sure that each country and destination is adhering to points of peace, which were that you had peace firstly with other countries, but also that you had peace with your own citizens. So the people that are going to be overseeing it and managing that process are going to be the military. A whole layer of government will just go. And then the whole system up there is going to be overseen by the military. We're not going to need presidents, we're not going to need prime ministers, ambassadors. That all the government as we currently understand it is going to be replaced by committees, but at the very grassroots level. We're going to get together in our very local area and we're going to be deciding what we need. Starlink operations worldwide. And I said, are they doing it right now? You know, how much is this already up and running? And you'll be really surprised at this. They said in 73% of the world, they're already doing it. The meaning by this is that the military have already been, operational at the Starlink level. What's happening with the final 27%? And they said that there's a lot of negotiations, restructuring, which is still ongoing. It's more the technical details of how the final locations will adhere to the precepts of peace. So it's not that they're necessarily saying they don't want to join the Starlink system, it's more that they're negotiating how these peace treaties are going to look. They said they were actually quite happy with 73%. So it might not be the last 27% that are stopping us having movement with the USA. I think there's some other events that still need to happen. But this is really good news because it's showing that whole system and the military and how they've got people signed in, it looks like, to me, we're there. They've done it. When are we going to see these things happening more and more? And they said it's going to take 2 to 5 years worldwide, but in some locations it will go sooner rather than later. So the switch to the military law in respect of what the masses see and in respect of what they understand, and I said, will it not all just roll out like once and we'll all just see it? And they said, no, it will be rolled out. It will be rolled out on the ground in different phases. That it is still a secret operation. So not even military personnel are aware of this master plan, because my understanding is that he is commander-in-chief, which means that he oversees the military. So this would mean, based on what they're now telling us, that Mr. T would head up these guardians of the Starlink. Eventually, that's what he'll be doing. He will have counterparts around the world. So he will be the commander-in-chief of the USA military that oversee the Starlink. And then around the world, you'll have your counterparts. So you'll have other commanders-in-chief. So then I said, how far away are we from seeing the military law being announced or understood by the masses? And they said they're not going to announce it as such. They're just going to gently kind of roll it out over a period of time. They said that the USA will go first, then the UK, which was very surprising to me, then Australia and Canada. On the whole, the transition has already been done. It's already been completed. They're saying it's already been completed whilst the old monetary system has been artificially supported to avoid panic by the masses and to test the new quantum infrastructure. So it sounds like the new system's running, but you and me on the ground, we're not being shown that yet, even though that's already happening. The old system is slowly being dismantled during this transition. So it will never be able to be used again in the future. It will never be able to be used again for, say, money laundering or anything to do with, the children or drugs or corruption. These white hat people, what's the percentage of them worldwide? And they said it's between 5 and 10%. And I did ask, how much of the military are black hats? And they said negligible. So there are a few little black hats in there, but it's just so small. It's not a problem. Mortgages, they said that they are going to be paid off and the debts will be released and forgiven. They said loans will be forgiven. Credit cards will be forgiven. They said that currency, I said, how will it transition into this new currency? And they just said that monies will be placed onto a digital wallet equal to those monies that you currently hold in your fiat accounts. So they're saying that the banks will close because now your banking is going to be direct with the QFS system. Tax will no longer be payable except on new or luxury goods. No property tax, no inheritance tax, and no capital gains tax. They said that healthcare will be free for everyone eventually worldwide. They said, when will the military take over the USA, and when is this going to be known to the masses that they're taking over the USA? And they said this could start as early as 2022 to 2023. So before they were saying that not everyone will necessarily know about military operations on the ground, you and I, but in the first instance, in terms of the USA, that might be where it's seen first. They're saying, no, he wasn't military trained. They said that Trump has a strategic business background and was not included in the military planning or strategy to keep him clean. I said, question mark, clean. And they said it's to keep him clear of any incriminations or accusations in the future, when he will then step forward as the Commander-in-Chief of the USA military. It's emergency broadcast system. We did talk about this last week, but I just asked again. And they said there's not going to be a need because of the Trump TV. They said that she's already been gone since 2018, but the official death is going to create like a period of procedural mourning. And I said, are the white hats going to switch off the media at that time? And they actually said no. But they did say that the Queen is the final step in the military plan. A week ago, they said we had 3 more events to go. And then it'll be the Queen, and then we're ready to go. Policy that everybody has to do that. Well, that's what they're saying on the surface. That's just a storyline. That's a distraction. So in my visions, I was seeing that they're closing down Austria and Germany, because they were showing me the military going in and across Switzerland towards CERN. So I wanted to ask them what was going on with all of that. What's going on with Austria, Switzerland, and CERN? And I expect people probably know that in CERN, we've got the Hadron Collider. Now that Switzerland is one of them. It's one of those final 3. Are the lockdowns in Europe, i.e. in Austria and Germany, are they to do anything to do with the quantum financial system? there's two things going on where they want to be in there. They want to move funds. So they said, yes, the military are currently locking down all regions and transport routes into Zurich in order to mobilize the funds and the gold for the quantum financial system. A few steps away, and that the military plan is almost complete. Saying we had 3 steps before the Queen. This week they're saying that Switzerland is the next one, and the UK is the one after that. So I think we've only got one left. Is the UK going to lead the world out of the lockdowns and lead the military charge? And they said no, the USA is leading the worldwide military plan, but the UK's position politically is a major strategic marker. UK's position politically, what did they mean by that? They said the military and the white hats have been getting major cities and capitals lined up ready for the green light, and that the UK is one of the major capitals that is now ready. New York is ready. Switzerland is now getting ready. Zimbabwe, Japan, Hong Kong, Iran, Russia, and South America. We're all still waiting on Canada and Australia. And they told me that they are still restructuring the financial and political systems in these regions in line with the Starlink and the Nasara Jasara templates. And they're cleaning the swamp of corrupt officials, and they're restructuring the banking system. Is the worldwide plan going to be live by Christmas 2021? They said no, unfortunately. They said this plan is ongoing and it will take a few more years to complete. So that doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen, but what it means is this is a project which is coming to the end of all its setting up. They've been getting the Starlink ready. They've been signing all the contracts, getting everything into position. But once we get that green light, there's still a lot of work to do. What are the next phases where the masses will see something unfolding? Because we need to see something, right? That the rollout of the quantum technologies are the next worldwide phase for the masses. And these are expected between 2022 and 2024. And they said 2022 is going to be a fast year of technological changes. They said we're moving into the Aquarian age, which is the technological age. They also call it the age of love. And we're now moving into it much faster, beginning in 2022. They said the military are getting into position around the world for the announcement of military law. And I did say, is this going to be like announced to the public? But they said no. I said, is it going to be announced publicly at all at any stage? And they said no. The puppets will remain in power, like superficial power, in order to keep everything looking normal and calm for the masses. And then they showed me that the UK went all like lit up. And they said to me that the UK is the green light. So when we officially know that they've finished with Switzerland, and perhaps the unlocking happens of Germany and Austria in February or around that time, I assume, that's when we know they're bringing everything back to the starting point, which is the UK. And that will be, I understand it to mean that will be the green light. Now, the Hadron Collider, as I said, is a circular system of about 16 miles. And what it's being used for is one, on the surface to be used for some sort of quantum experiments with sound and light. That's my understanding. But what's actually been going on is it's been opening a portal for the dark. It's been used as like a satanic portal. And they showed me 24 hours ago this kind of what looked like directed energy going into CERN, up and over CERN. It looked like some sort of energy beam being deployed over this area in Switzerland, and I can still see it right now. They said that symbolically, I'm being shown how they are dismantling this portal of hell that they've opened in CERN through this Hadron Collider project. And again, they said to me, it's like 16 miles of circular tunnels that have been designed to create this portal for the dark. And this energy that I can see is them dismantling this portal. And I asked them, like, who's dismantling it? And they said it is multi-layered who's doing it, but they said it's the white hats and the military with help from the galactic technologies. And they're just focusing all this technology at the moment onto dismantling this portal to this hell portal. But they said also, as the collective rise up in their consciousness, then that's also helping these dark energies and the programming of that part of the land to be moved out. So even though we don't necessarily all see what we would like to see, it is going on. There are very deadly things being sorted out. They said it's almost done. And they said that the dark energies are mostly dissipated. And they said by the 12th of December, which is 12/12/2021, the energies will be totally neutralized in that area. So also in this region, we've got Davos, and that's actually been cancelled for next January. They said to me that all the prominent leaders who normally attend Davos are currently in custody, awaiting trials for crimes against humanity. And they gave me two examples. They said Trudeau and Klaus Schwab. And I hope you're listening, Lynn, because in my channeling, they said that he is an outstanding example of God's love in action. God always rewards courage. So that's a message for Linwood. Mr. T having been inaugurated secretly. And again, they said, no, it's not necessary for him to be inaugurated because he is the commander-in-chief of the new worldwide setup under Nasara Jasara and Starlink. God says to you, your good work does not go unnoticed. And they also asked that we all keep Donald J. Trump in our prayers and give him love and send him love, because he is a lion of courage. That was their words.